Hello everyone, welcome back to this Unity tutorial. So today we are going to work on the enemies. Let's get started, and we are going to grab this one here inside sprites, idle, the blue one for example, drag and drop it here, go to assets, animations, we'll create a folder for it, call it slime, and call the animation idle. Okay, perfect. Now let's put it in a suitable position, -1 and -0.5 here. You see that it is not in the foreground, so make the order in layer 1 and let's give it a box collider. So box collider 2D. You see it's a little too wide because of how this sprite is set up. They are too wide. That's fine, that's fine. We can change that really easily by changing the size in here to 1, but I always want to keep it a little smaller than it should be, so let's set it to 0.9 here and 0.9 here. Okay, next, to get the navigation in 2D, I'll give you a link to this repository which we are going to use. So you download it or clone it, or you can add it via Unity Package Manager. So for those who do not know how to use it, you can just download this. And I have already downloaded it and extracted it. So be right back. I'll put it in the project and come back. This is the folder. So after extracting, drag and drop it here inside third party. Okay, now click yes here because it's using an older API. And there are a few things that we want to do to make this work. Don't mind this. Something they have wrong. I don't know what it is, but everything works fine without it. So go here, we will create an empty object, and we will call this navmesh. We will add a navigation surface. We will give it also a navigation collect source 2D. Set this to rotate to XY, so it is on the plane of the game. Okay, now go to the tile maps. Give this one a navigation modifier tile map. Actually, we can do without this. Yeah, we do not need this. So it's to give it the tile, an attribute per tile. We don't need that. Remove this. We will have them already in two separate tile maps. Okay. So for this one, you don't need to do anything, but for this one, when you give it the modifier, hit this and set it to not workable. Go to the enemy. Let's actually put it under the game world. And here, let's give it a navmesh agent. Okay. Now you see it's too big for what we want it to be. So for the where is it? The radius, it's 95 divided by 2 to be the same size that we set in the collider. We did that or 0.9? I think we did 0.9. Yeah. And for the height it's also 0.9 and a little offset here of 45. That way it's the same size as the collider. Okay, we don't care about the rest of this. Go to the navmesh. Here we can try baking this. You see everything is a little too small. And to fix that, go to the navmesh settings, click install. It will install the navmesh package for Unity. This won't take long, just a few seconds. And here, change these to the same things we put here, which are 0.40. No, that's the offset. Yeah, the radius we put it to 0.45. That's a bit too much. We'll see, we'll see. And set this to 0.9. Areas here, you can set areas as you want and give them a give them give them a cost. But for us, we won't do that. Go back here and hit bake again. They are still too small, so we will set it to something smaller like 0.3. Hit bake, and this looks much better now. Okay, I think we will keep it like this. And now we will create a script to not control, but to make this guy move from one waypoint to another. So we will call it slime simple. Open the script, don't mind this stuff. And here, we need a couple of things. First of all, we will need references to the objects or the transforms where we are going to go. So serialize field private list of transform. I keep picking the wrong one. Make sure it's system collections.generic, not the NUnit framework. A list of transforms, we will call this one waypoints. Okay. We will also need float to set the speed. We'll set it for now to something like 5, and we need one for the tolerance, or we will call it error. This is to detect if we have reached our destination or not. Okay. Now, how are we going to deal with the waypoints? We need a private integer. It's for the current target index in this list. So private int target index. Ah, come on, I keep typing it wrong. And we will need a reference to the transform itself. So private transform, and we will call this one target. Another thing we need is a reference to the navmesh agent component. Private navmesh agent. This one, we will call this one navmesh agent, and we will get a reference to it here. Get component navmesh agent. Okay, for this one we need to set few things. So navmesh agent dot update rotation. No, we don't want it to rotate the slime. We want it to always be facing the same way. Also update up vector will be set to false. The up axis will always be the same. The speed, we will set it to our speed that we have set in the inspector. And we need also to give it an acceleration. We'll set it to something very high, like 100. Okay, that's all for the nav mesh. Then target index will start at 0, and the target itself will be waypoints of target index. And now we need to set the destination for this, since we have the target. Dot set destination, and this will be navmesh agent. No, not navmesh agent. Sorry, target dot position. Okay, in the update function, we will detect if we have reached this position, then we will pick another one. So, in order to do that, if our current position, come on, I keep typing it wrong. If transform dot position minus target dot position dot square magnitude. We use square magnitude instead of magnitude because it is lighter to calculate. Square roots take a lot of time. If it is less than the error value that we are going to set, then we will do stuff. But actually, anything that you can do, if you have only something to do only if a condition is correct, just reverse the condition. Not there. Reverse this whole thing. This does not work here. Okay, so you can set this to bigger. If we have not reached that yet, then return. Then we don't need these curly braces anymore. We will do what we want if we did not return. That means if we have reached the position. What we're going to do is pick the next waypoint, and that actually depends if we are going forwards or backwards. So let's add a boolean to keep track of that. Private, we'll call it forward. Maybe set to true initially. And here, if the target index is greater or equal, I keep pressing the wrong buttons. Greater or equal to waypoints dot count minus 1. What does this mean? If we are at the last waypoint, then forward will be set to true. Actually, it should be called backward, not forward. That meh, who cares? You don't need these curly braces because it's only one instruction. Else, if come on, something is wrong with my keyboard today or my hands. So target index is less or equals 0. It will never be less than 0. It will always be between 0 and the count minus 1, but for extra precaution, forward will be set to false. Now, depending on what forward is, if forward, then we will decrease the target index. Else, if forward is false, if we will go the other way, it should be called backwards really. Then we will increase it. So it's just giving us the index of the next waypoint that we are going to pick. And we will do target equals waypoints of target index and navmesh agent dot set destination will be target dot position. Okay, this should be working now. Let's check if there is anything we forgot. I do not think so. I think it should work. Let's give it the script here. What did you call it? We call it simple slime. Let's see. Oh, we didn't give it the target positions. So we will let's create them as children. We will give them an icon here, and we will place them in different places. But make sure you place them inside the nav mesh itself. Otherwise, I don't think it will. Oh, no. I can't place them inside of it because they will move with the slime. So place them outside of the slime. So, sorry about that. And now, oh yeah, we still didn't put them in this list. So you can lock it here and select multiple objects, drag and drop them, save it, and now let's run the game. So it's moving. It went to the first one, but seems like it is stuck there. Let's actually see what's happening. Hmm. Oh yeah, the error distance was a bit too much, a bit too small. So now it's working. Let's set it to zero point 0.2. That's still not good enough. Zero point 0.3 seems to be working fine. Okay, that's great. So make sure you set this back to 0.3. Now I want to give it an animation when it dies. So that's very simple. We will get a reference to an animator, private. I'm very lazy to rewrite the word private currently. Private animator, and it will be the same thing as this. So animator, get component animator, and we will create a dev function. Actually, I think we should create it the same way that we did for breakables. So go back here, we will create this script, we will call it enemy base. We won't do anything in here, but we will do on trigger enter 2D if other dot game object dot compare tag is explosion, then we will do death. It's the same thing that we did with the breakable objects, but this I think was called explode, and we will do protected void death, virtual void death. Now here we will implement it. It's very simple, the same way we did for protected. Override void. Why don't I see it from the parent? Death? Oh yeah, we didn't inherit from enemy base. Okay, so we need to stop movement. Navmesh agent dot enabled equals false. Destroy the rigid body and the collider. We will give it a rigid body because we don't want it to move through bombs and through the crates, so we will have to give it a rigid body. Forgot to do it in the inspector. Also, we will need to set that rigid body to be like the others, what we have done to them. It's set to be dynamic, simulated. It won't use gravity or anything here. This will be continuous, start to wake. This will be interpolated, and it won't be rotating on the z-axis. Save this and go back to the code. Here we will also destroy the box collider, and we will trigger an animation of death. So animator dot set trigger. We will call this one death. Hash it and go back to the editor. So the death animation, we will take the one they have already here. Sprites, death, blue. Why are there two of these here? And this is still locked, unlock it. No flash. Or with a flash. So you can set it to be bright or not. Let's do the flash one. Drag and drop it here. Make sure it's the right size, set to 32. Go to assets, animations, slimes. Slime name is death. How long has this been so far? Do we stop here or we continue? I guess we will stop here. Too bad, I wanted to make the other enemies. Okay, I guess we will be stopping here. Okay, now delete this one. Go to the slime folder, animator for this slime. This is it. Why can't I see anything in here? Okay, there was an error in the inspector. Don't mind that. And drag and drop this animation. Since we only have one, we will make one transition from here. Otherwise, we would have done it from any state here. For the parameters, we will add a trigger. We will call it death. We have done this multiple times by now, so it should be simple to do. Go here, everything to 0, so it does not wait for an animation cycle to end. There you go. And set the condition to be that trigger. Save this here and let's go. Make sure also to open the animation window, go to the enemy, and we will add here an animation event, which is going to call, where is it? This here. We'll go to here and we will create, not protected, it will be public because we want to access it in the inspector. Public void and, for example, and it will destroy the current game object. Okay, so destroy game object. Go back here, select it, go here, sample enemy methods, and select end. Okay. Now there is one last thing we want to do before ending this video, which is, if you have noticed, we can walk through crates right now, which is not really a good thing to be able to do. So an easy way to fix that is to just go to the crates prefab and we will give it a modifier. What was it? Navigation modifier. This one will override area to not walkable. Save that. We will do actually the same thing for the bomb. Not walkable. But there is also another problem with this, that if we destroy the crate or we put a bomb, it will not update the navmesh. So in order to fix that also, we will need to create a navmesh manager script, which is very simple actually. Wait for it to compile. Okay, we will make it a singleton. I'm trying to go a little bit fast because this is very simple stuff and the video is getting too long. So public static navmesh manager instance private navmesh surface. It has a reference to its own navmesh surface. Come on. This one or this one? I don't know anymore. Which one we're using? I think it's navmesh plus. Yeah, it's navmesh plus. Yeah. Navmesh surface. We'll call this one surface. and the usual stuff on awake. If instance is null, then instance equals this, else if instance not equal to this, destroy game object. And on destroy, we will free up the memory for that instance if instance equals this, then set it to null. Okay, and what we are going to do here is we want to initialize this stuff. So surface equals get component navmesh surface dot hide editor logs. We don't want the extra logs that it will give us. Oh, why am I doing this in update? It's supposed to be in start. Was wondering why this was given a warning for performance. And we will build the navmesh here. So surface dot build navmesh async, and we will need to expose a way to update the navmesh. So public void update navmesh, and it's simple, surface dot update navmesh. We will pass it to its surface dot navmesh data. That's it. We will go here to the objects that we spawn and destroy, which are the crates and bombs. So basically the breakable objects. And here in the start function, start method, we will do physics2d dot sync transforms. This will ensure that it will not wait for the next physics update to sync the transforms whether they are there or not, because they are used by the navmesh to update itself. So we have to sync the transforms. Then we will use the navmesh manager dot instance dot update navmesh. So we told it that this object was added, update the navmesh, or we will also do on destroy much the same thing. Okay, anything else we need to do? I do not think so. Maybe for the player to die when colliding with an enemy, which is very simple. So here, copy this, we'll write enemy in here. We don't need this line anymore. Save it, go back to Unity, wait for this to compile. Of course, give this the enemy tag. Here, give it tag. Okay, I think this should work now. Let's enable gizmos here to see the navmesh, and to show you that it's working now in real time, let's clear the navmesh data and you'll see it being created in real time. Here they are set as non-workable objects. Oh, we have a problem. Set destination. can only be set on an object that's placed on a navmesh. Okay. So, oh, I see why. The instance is null because we never gave it the script. So, navmesh manager. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it should work right now. Yeah, you see that we have the navmesh, but now we do have some errors here and there, so can only be called an active agent that has been placed on a navmesh. I suspect that the navmesh has not been created yet at that point. Let's see. So we will put this. mm, Is there a condition to check for that on navmesh or something like that? Uh, Actually, no, 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 no. Why am I doing it like this? Going back to the navmesh manager here, we will do this stuff on a wake, and that should solve it. Or you can just do script execution order there. It will work also. Let's try this. The navmesh has not been created. That's curious. Okay, we will fix this now by not doing this until it is on a mesh. So let's quickly do this. Private full active. It will start at false. We will remove this. May not remove it, but make the start method a coroutine. So by changing this to enumerator, it's now a coroutine, and while navmesh agent is on navmesh, why this is wrong, yield return new wait hmm wait for end of frames, end of the frame. Okay, and then we will do this. And for the update function, uh, pressed build by mistake, and active will become true if not active, then return. Let's try this now. And now it's working fine. Where did it go? Something is messing up with the navmesh. Oh, the enemy touched something and died, I guess. Did we put... Oh, I know what's the problem now. Yeah, we set this on the wrong animation. Sorry for that, probably people will be shouting, what are you doing when I did that? And we will set this end here. Yeah, I was confused because even if it does not work, the objects should not disappear there. Okay, now it's working fine. The enemy is moving between its waypoints, and you'll see now if I place a bomb there, the navmesh links again. Oh, placing a bomb does not. Okay, you see, it's a little delayed, but it works. Oh, trapped myself. Okay, guys, so thank you for watching this far into the video. Like it if you like it, don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time where we are going to add the enemy that follows the player. So thank you for watching and goodbye.